Hey, hey, I think I'm live. All right. Y'all let me know if you can hear me and see me. This is Carol with Solo Cruising and More. Am I in? Am I in? Oh my goodness. Well, it says I'm live, so I'm just going to go with it. It says I'm live here. Um, hey, this is Carol with Solo Cruising and More. I'm here this morning to talk about solo international travel, just international travel in general. And so, want to know, put your comments in the chat. Have you ever thought about an international trip by yourself, or maybe just an international trip in general, but wondered how in the world you're going to get through a 30 plus hour journey? Or, because mine was 33 hours going, 35 hours coming back. Well, I just did it. I went to Thailand to visit my daughter, and I learned a few things. So I just kind of want to get some feedback, some chat in about if you ever thought about taking a long trip. What are your questions about that? So anyway, this is Carol with Solo Cruising and More. Thank you for coming in. If you're new here, that's fine. I might try to do this every Saturday. We'll see how this goes every Saturday morning, just to talk about travel and things. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so that you will continue to know when I do go live or when I have videos coming out. So, and thank you for coming in and hanging out with me today. Okay. So let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. I see we got in the chat, we got Cruise Tubers. Thank you. That's DC. He's got a great channel. And then there's Texas Cruiser. Rick Wade is here, I see. And Gerald with More to See. They're here. Say good morning, Carol. And then Carnival Cruise Addicts. They were here, but they're going to the beach. So they came in to say hi. Thank you, Liz and Chris. And then Danny Dizzle, Supermod, she's here. Thank you. And yes. I'm sure I'm gonna need you, Danny. So I'm glad you're here. And then my sister Wanda's here. Hey Wanda, good morning. Thanks for coming in. And then Gwen. Hi, Gwen. Okay, so I work with Gwen. And Gwen is here. I've traveled with Gwen. We've taken 2 trips together, 2 cruises together, I think. Yeah, we've taken 2 cruises together. Okay, and then So yeah, DC with the Cruise Tuber said I was live. Okay, and DC, he says he loves Thailand. He's traveled there solo before for a month. Okay, so that's awesome. That's awesome. And then Wayne is here. Okay, that's my another work buddy of mine. Thanks, Wayne, for coming in. Thank you. Okay, that's great. All right. Well, let's move on with this. So, what is the longest flight or travel day that you've ever had? And can you guys hear me okay? Is it, yeah, let me know if my audio is okay. Because the trip that I took, it was absolutely the longest. And I think going over the Pacific, going that direction as opposed to going over the Atlantic, it really kind of has a different effect on you as far as jet lag. Because I had some serious jet lag this week. I am not gonna lie. It was. So that usually takes a bit to recover from as well. So, okay. All right. So Danny said, yes, we hear you. And the audio's great. Okay. Wanda said, all right. Okay. All right. Yes. And Danny, you can put, okay. So Danny Dizzle, she's a super moderator. She has a fundraiser. And so Danny, go ahead and put the link to your fundraising, your popcorn sale in the chat. And also in the chat, my Nightbot should be working. And if you type in hashtag cruise, yes, you can share your channel link. Yeah, it looks like it looks like it's working. Okay, so yeah, Danny just dropped her popcorn fundraiser. So yeah, so that's going to help Danny out. She's an awesome moderator. Awesome moderator. Okay. So as far as now, the reason that I went to Thailand is my daughter and my grandson moved there back in July of last year. So my daughter's teaching over there. She actually went there for a vacation, and then but it was kind of a she took all her teaching credentials with her and her degrees and everything. So she kind of was thinking she would look around and see if there were any opportunities there. Well, she did. She found some, she found a really good teaching opportunity over there. So she ended up staying. And so when and of course, I love to travel, hands down, but I never really, and Thailand has always been on my bucket list, but I thought it was going to be, maybe after retirement, way down the line. And then when she moved there, I said, well, this is a good opportunity. My grandson's birthday was August 14th. And I said, gosh, it would be great if I could be there for, his first birthday, being away. And actually, my daughter, after college, she lived over in Laos for 4 years. So she was already accustomed to, to being out of the country, to being in the Asian culture. And Thailand was, Phuket in particular was one of the places that she definitely wanted to visit and see if she liked it. And once she was there for just that first week, she fell in love with Phuket. And that's when she started looking for teaching opportunities there. So that's why she was there. And then when my grandson's birthday was coming up and I kind of started looking around and I said, well, I think I can make this work. So I was able to secure a ticket for, I think it was $890 because I had some credit card points. And so that got the ticket down. And before you know it, I was getting ready to go. Now, this was my second international travel, but the first international one was with Gwen. Gwen's here in the chat. And there was 7 of us and we took a Greek Isles cruise. And that was my first time traveling internationally. So by doing that, even though I was with a group, after I did that, I said, well, I think I could probably do this by myself. So I think if I had not done that Greek Isles cruise and traveled internationally, I may have been a little bit more reluctant to go to Thailand by myself. So that's one thing you can look at is maybe, before you go out solo, maybe try doing an international, a group trip or a trip with, friends or family or what have you. And then that would kind of get your feet wet. And I really think that did help me for sure, is just doing that Greek Isles trip at first. Okay, so who else we got in? We got the cruise tuber, okay. And then, okay, so we got Jennifer with Cruiseaholics Anonymous. Thanks, Jennifer, for coming in. Thank you. So I definitely think that got my feet wet, just that initial Greek Isles cruise. And so, and of course I went to Thailand to see family and friends. So that, and I had, I knew I wouldn't have to have accommodations because I stayed with my daughter. And so that definitely helped. And then the thing I think that's really important to know is that preparing for that trip, just that 33-hour flight. So it's just the basics: earbuds, your cell phone, a neck pillow, earphone, a neck pillow, and then and your charging cable. And so I do have some media assets. I want to see if I can pull it up. Okay. I want to see if I can pull this up, see if I can pull this off. So let's see here if I can do it, because I'm green as all get out on this. So let's see. Okay, found. I'm just looking for my little media thing. Okay, all right. A little different than what I'm used to, but it went just fine. So just waiting for the flight right now. So our flight is 15 hours long, and then this flight is taking me to Taipei, Taiwan, and I think I have just like a 3-hour layover there, and then on to Bangkok, and it's just maybe a 3-hour flight. And then in Bangkok, I have a pretty long layover, like about 7 or 8 hours. So I'll just be chilling out in Bangkok for a while. So anyway, that is what's going on so far. So far, so good. All right, I'm looking forward to getting some sleep on this next flight, because I've been up since 3:30 in the morning. So it's fine. All right, just checking in. Bye. Okay, so now that's one thing that you can do. I kind of did a diary, as I was going through every step. I would just kind of turn on my video camera, and I would just sort of just talk into it and kind of say what I was doing. And that kind of helped me to remember, what helped and what didn't help. And so I had been up since 3:30 that morning, just the anticipation of everything that was going to go on that day. And I just couldn't sleep. So I had a pretty long day. Well, that first flight was 15 hours, and they pretty much we got 2 full meals, plus they pretty much kept the lights out. You could watch movies, you could do whatever you wanted to do, but really I think they really wanted everyone to pretty much just sleep on that flight as much as you could. So because of the time difference, they're mindful of that. The plane was really quiet. Eva Airlines is a very, very good airline here. I think I got another media asset I'll bring in here. Okay. So this was Eva Airlines here. I think let's see. Maybe I don't have it on. Just a minute here. And y'all bear with me because I'm trying to get this right. Okay, there we go. They were very, very, I don't know if you can hear me. Okay. So Eva Air, oh, am I talking? All right, Eva Airlines is very, very professional. Do you remember back in the day when the flight attendants, they wore the dresses? I mean, they wore the suits with the pantyhose, and their hair was done. That's how they were. Very, very professional, very nice, accommodating. So that is, I was really impressed with Eva Airlines as far as how they treated us. And we had 2 full meals on the flight. And so here, I'll go there. I'll show you. Okay, so so it looked, I mean, it tasted better than it looked. It was almost kind of like a shrimp and grits type meal. And it was very, very tasty. And then the other meal that we had was I believe it was like a type of chicken, but we did 2 full meals, snacks, and then also you had a full, pretty much a full bar menu on there. I took a picture of it, but I didn't put it in my assets. But it was complimentary, so you could order wine or beer, and they had three different types of cocktails um, that you could order as well. So they made the flight very, very comfortable. And so some of the things that you need to prepare for when you're going to take an international flight is, of course, your passport. And make sure your passport has 6 months. It's not going to expire within 6 months of the first day of your trip. So that's one thing that I had to, make sure that I had taken care of. And then, of course, you're going to make, just like you do for a cruise, you make copies of your credit cards, of your passport, have those with you. And then one thing that I wish I had did that I didn't do was download the app for the airline. I did it on my way back, but I wish I would have did it on my way there. Because they were actually giving me information that I probably, the gate information on the other 2 flights. So if I would have downloaded that app, I wouldn't have had to ask around or look at the big reader board, things like that. Okay, let me see who else has come in, because I've been just chatting away like crazy here. Okay. Oh, hey, Bill. Thanks for coming in. Okay. Bill with Warm Strong Adventures is here. And Josie Ann, thank you. Oh, and Scott with Controversial Cruising is here. Thanks, Scott, for coming in. I'm looking up at my other computer. That's why I'm looking up. Okay. Thanks, you guys, for coming in. Hey. Yeah. Thanks for coming in. So definitely download the airline app, and you can just delete it after you're done with that, done with using it, so you don't have to actually keep it on your phone. And I know most of us who cruise, we have to fly, so I know you're probably used to that. But however, when I was ticketed, I had all my tickets for all my flights in Dallas. However, they didn't have any gate information. They didn't have, so I had to, go and actually look for that information, or look on the reader board. And some reader boards had the information and some didn't. And then there were information counters that I had to go to in Taipei and Bangkok to get what gate that I was supposed to fly out of. So had I downloaded the app, the EVA airline app, it would have came up in my app. And so that's one thing that you want to you want to do if you're going to do international travel, is download the app. And of course, you're going to have your emergency contact and your important phone numbers. Yeah. So then going on to like what I actually packed for the flight. Well, I had to bring a whole suitcase for my daughter. All right. So she had some special clothes that she wanted, that she had left back. And it was a whole big suitcase, full of it. So I took more than I had wanted to take, but, you do things for your kids. So it was no big deal. With EVA Airlines, I was able to check 2 bags. So no problem with that. I was able to check 2 bags and then take 2 carry-ons. So I was fine. I was fine with it, and I was able to manage. But, that's something to know ahead of time. So you definitely want to get with the airlines and find out, go on their website, find out what the baggage requirements are. So, but basically, what you need, just need your basics, just like you do when you cruise. The only thing extra is that I don't usually bring my laptop, but I brought my laptop this time because I was going to be gone so long, and I wanted to make sure that I could, still stay in contact with, my job. And then also, just keep up with all the YouTube stuff going on. So I didn't want to be just dinking around on a small phone. So I did take my laptop with me. And that is, it was a little heavy, but I was able to manage. Yeah, no problem. So of course you're going to need your electronics. So I had I had bought a gimbal, and so a new gimbal, and this was a DJI gimbal. It works so much better than my other gimbal. So I was able to, do a lot of recording with my phone, and then snacks for those long airport hauls, because I had, I had a 9-hour layover in Bangkok, which in Bangkok, because I was going to a regional airlines, which was Bangkok Airways, they had an airport lounge. So even though I was there so many hours, I was able to use the airport lounge to, just to relax in. They had snacks, they had a coffee machine. Yeah, it was great. I didn't take any assets about that. So I thought I had some pictures, but I don't. I did do a live from that airport lounge. I don't know if anybody watched that, but I did. But also, you want to have with you on your air flight, you want to have a change of clothes, because on a long 33-hour flight, you want to be able to freshen up. Definitely. So when I got to the airport, I was able to go into one of the larger restrooms, and I'll use a handicap restroom in a minute, especially if it has a sink. And I, did everything I needed to do with my teeth and everything else, change clothes. And so I was fresh for that next flight going into Phuket from Bangkok. Yeah, definitely was. And then you definitely want to have any kind of medications with you on your flight, in case, yeah. Well, medications, that's shouldn't even have to say anything else about that. So now coming back, because I had a 35-hour flight coming back, and I had a 9-hour layover, and it was an overnight layover. I tried to figure out, okay, what am I going to do for 9 hours overnight? I did not want to sleep on, airport benches. So I started just researching what I could do. I found out that I could. There's a hotel that's within the airport, within the Bangkok airport, that I could stay at. But it's only for international travelers, and I had to be in the right terminal. Well, it was a whole lot of going back and forth, because my flight from Phuket to Bangkok was considered a regional flight. So they told me that I couldn't stay at that hotel that was within the airport. So there was another hotel that I would have had to walk to, but it was within walking distance of the airport. So I made a reservation there. And then come to find out, when I checked in for my flight in Phuket to go to Bangkok with the regional airlines, the gentleman said, no, you don't want to have to do that. Let me fix your ticket. So he fixed my ticket. To where I would be considered an international, the flight would be international all the way. And so I was able to stay at the hotel. And so let me pull that up, and I'll show you this hotel. Oh, okay. I don't know what happened. Okay, this is the room at the airport. This is the room at Bangkok Airport. It was room 602. It's called the Miracle Hotel, and you're able to book it for 6 hours. So 6 hours at a time. If you look, there's the airport right out there. Yeah, yeah. So it was pretty nice. Hey, extra small service dogs. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, so it had everything, that you would need in a hotel room. Yeah. And then they also had, okay, I hope I don't mess stuff up and trying to get into, okay, so you were also able to have, there's a little breakfast area that they accommodated us with.
Dragon fruit, watermelon.
Yeah, so that really helped on those. So if you have a flight and you have a super long layover and it's overnight, I would definitely start doing some research to see if something like that is available at your airport on an international flight, because it really did, because I was able to go in, shower, freshen up for that next flight that I had, which was that was to Taipei, and it was about a 6 hour flight to Taipei from Bangkok, and then the next longest one was from Taipei, Taiwan to Dallas, and that was 15 hours. But it was a daytime layover, so that's not really that much of a big deal. But when it's one of those overnight layovers, yeah, you want to be comfortable and you want to be fresh the next morning. So that definitely really did help. So also what a lot of people are curious about, when going to Thailand or any foreign country, is how the money system works, and with Thailand, it's on the bot system, BAHT. And so what I did do is I got bought before I left. So I uh, through my bank, they I just gave them, I don't know, I think it was maybe $600 or $700 or something, US dollars, and I was able to get Thai baht, quite a bit of Thai baht for that, because Thai baht is like about $30 for every 1,000 baht. So it's 30 American dollars for every 1,000 Thai baht. And the exchange rate that they gave me at the bank, I found out was pretty good. So I just went ahead and got it. And I had some before I left. I mean, I ended up, using more. I went to the bank just a couple of times. I didn't get out very much, but my debit card worked fine over in Phuket. My debit card worked just fine. My credit card did not have any foreign transaction fees, which was great. And there was also currency exchange places that were different, different places within Phuket. So so your access to money is going to be fine. Mine was fine. I did not feel like I wasn't able to get whatever I needed whenever I needed. There was always like a cash machine or a place to exchange my money. So, and then again with my credit card, I didn't have any foreign transaction fees. And then my as far as my phone service, I have T-Mobile, and so it worked fine over there. I did get the international plan, and so I had the international plan, so that helped me a little, to be able to use my bandwidth or whatever you call it, my data, and it was fine just about everywhere that I went, except for a couple of times. I don't know. I tried to do a Facebook Live, and I couldn't do Facebook Live. I could do a YouTube Live, but I couldn't do a Facebook Live. So I don't know what that was about. I don't know if that was a Facebook thing or what, but that was the only thing. That was the only problem that I had was doing a Facebook Live. So as far as your phone and technology, yeah, it should, US Cellular, not US Cellular, what is it, AT&T? I know they do some kind of thing where it's like per day you got to pay $20 or something like that, but I don't know. T-Mobile did well with me when I did the Greek Isles cruise, and they worked well over in Thailand as well. I didn't have any issues except for Facebook Live. So, but I did get that extra international plan. I think I paid like $75 extra, and that took care of 30 days. So it's actually still going right now. But I needed more than the week, and so I went ahead and got the 30 days. Yeah. So, okay. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was, I guess, luggage. Well, we already kind of talked about that because I already talked about this. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to skip. I think that we already talked about that. So when I arrived in Thailand, the immigration part of it, it went pretty well. I kind of felt like, they kind of treated me just a little differently. I had to go through a couple of extra things that I didn't see anybody else going through. Like I had to be fingerprinted. Okay. So I didn't see everybody do that, but I guess maybe because I'm a US citizen, I had to put my hands down on this little reader thing. I did get passport stamps, which is great because, when you cruise, you don't usually get your passport book stamps. So I love having some more stamps in my passport. That was great. So I didn't mind going through those extra steps because it allowed me to get my passport stamp. And then when I got to Thailand, my daughter had already arranged for me to, or she had arranged a Grab system. Okay, so we're talking about transportation. So when I arrived there, I had to have transportation to get to her place. Well, they have a system called the Grab system. It's like Uber, very, very convenient. So she ordered the Grab for me. Now, getting to where they pick you up, the Grabs pick you up, was quite a distance, mostly inside the airport, some outside the airport, but just not knowing where it is was, it took a while, but I got to the right spot, and she gave me the license plate of the Grab driver, and I was, then and I had a ride to her place. So, but she had ordered that ahead of time. Now, when I got as far as, myself getting around in Thailand, I downloaded the Grab app, and it's great. I mean, they were at her place within 10, 15, 20 minutes, anytime I needed to go somewhere. And it was about $10 or $11 per ride. The longest ride that I think I ordered was when I went to the Big Buddha, and it was $17. And it was quite a distance from where her place was. So, and you can also order food through the Grab, order food to come to your place. They deliver food and all that. So, that's for another video, because we're just talking about travel right now. But it is, part of travel is, getting to where you need to get to. So that Grab system in Thailand is very, very good, very efficient. And the app was very easy to use, very easy to use. So also something that I am still dealing with is getting used to the time difference. It took me a while, and I know that there's probably some remedies for jet lag, but I haven't found any. I think today I might have finally, maybe on my last day of getting over this jet lag, but it coming back, it's taken me a while. So, I've needed like naps every day. So that jet lag is a real deal. It is a 12-hour, okay, from Central Time, it is exactly 12 hours. They're exactly 12 hours in the future from Central Time. And so that getting used to that time difference really, really, really took a toll, on me. So, but I'm pretty much almost recovered back. So, but yeah, so kind of be mindful of that. If you know any kind of remedies for jet lag on that kind of flight, I'd like to know them, because I didn't have any. And I was, have really a little bit struggled this week in the afternoons at work, keeping my eyes open. Yeah. I really have. It took me a while. Definitely took me a while. So, anyway, so, oh yeah, so going back, and trying to get the chat a little bit more engaged, because I'm just rambling on. But if you had a long flight like that, would you pay for like an overnight hotel stay? Oh, let me tell you what I paid for it. It was $95. So it was $95 for that 6 hours at the airport hotel. So just asking in the chat, is that something that you guys would do if you had that long overnight layover? I'm looking in the comments. Yeah. Let me see who else is. Anybody else came in? I see just and yeah, Rick, extra small. Okay. Oh yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, share out your channel links. That's great. Yeah, just put in #cruise and you guys connect with each other in the chat. Definitely do that. Definitely do that. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to know if okay. Oh, okay. So Cruise Tuber said, DC said that he just stayed at the Hong Kong airport for your layover. Okay. Okay. How long was your layover, DC? Yeah, because like if you traveling solo and I'm a woman, I just didn't want to lay down in the airport. I mean, I didn't feel unsafe at all. Nowhere that I was. I didn't feel unsafe. But nothing looked comfortable. Nothing looked comfortable. It did not look like anywhere what I would want to lay down and try to take a nap. Not in not in Bangkok. There was nothing that looked comfortable enough. Yeah. Okay, and then more to see. Gerald says we have a long one coming up in October. Kind of dreading that flight, but so looking forward to the trip to Italy and Greece. Oh, okay. So, Gerald, do you know how long of a layover do you have, or is it just going to be just one long flight? Because I know, and are you going into where are you porting out of? Is it a cruise? Oh, DC said it was overnight. Okay, okay. Yeah, but you were probably, how old were you, DC? You were young. You can do that kind of stuff, sleeping up in the airport like that. Yeah, okay. So Jennifer from Cruiseaholics Anonymous says, yeah, I'm with you, Carol. I need a bed. Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes, I mean, that overnight like that, I just couldn't see just sleeping up in the airport. I mean, I've done it once because, and that was it wasn't international. It was here in the States. And it was coming back from a cruise, but my son was with me, so it was not a big deal. Yeah. Okay, so Gerald says my concern is I can't ever sleep on a plane. Okay. Oh, and you don't leave until yeah, 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 yeah. That is concern. Yeah, yeah. You got to make sure you try to get seats. I don't know. Some people like aisle seats. Some people like window seats. I tend to I like the window seat so I can put that pillow up by the window and I'm able to sleep a little bit more comfortable that way. Um, yeah, definitely. Okay, DC says Hong Kong is a nice, safe airport. Yeah, okay, okay. Well, I have a cruise coming up in 2028 where we start off in Singapore and then we end up in Hong Kong. I think that one is a 13-day cruise, and we have a overnight on the cruise ship. It's NCL. It's NCL. We have an overnight on the cruise ship in Hong Kong, and then we get off the next day. So yeah, so we'll fly out of Hong Kong. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know, DC. Yeah. Oh, more. Oh, so more to see. You have a direct flight. Ooh, okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah. So you're going from Philadelphia to Rome. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Okay. So is it the Czechoslovakia? How do you pronounce that? Oh, Ceviche. Is it that cruise port that you're going to be cruising out of? The one with the CIVVVV. I hear Jennifer pronounce it. She does a very good job pronouncing it. I still haven't figured out how to pronounce that one. Yeah. Okay, so DC said, Cruise Tubers, he said, I was in early 30s, but I didn't sleep. Oh, you just stayed up the whole time? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, so, and that's what I hear too, is people staying up is supposed to help with that jet lag. That's probably what I probably should have tried to do. Yeah. Okay, and then Jennifer says, take a nap before your flight if you won't sleep on the plane. Oh, yeah. Try to get a good 5 hours or 6 hours sleep before you even get on the plane. And that might help. Yeah, that's good to know. Okay, you be flying out of Philadelphia. Oh my goodness. Oh, what month are you going, Gerald? On your Mediterranean cruise? Yeah. Because we went in September and we had, oh, you're going in October. Okay, that's good. Yeah, because we went in September and we the crowds, we had low amount of crowds. At least that's what they told us, that we weren't in and it wasn't as hot over there. We just had rain a couple of times. We had rain in Croatia. Yeah, we had some rain in Croatia, but it wasn't like it didn't keep us from doing anything. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, wow. Oh, you're going to be gone from October 15th to 3rd. That's a good long time. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that's going to be fun. Wow. So is the cruise the whole time, or you got some pre and post cruise stay at in Rome? Because that's 15 days. That is nice. Wow. That is very nice. Yeah. So okay. So anyway, I think I think I went over everything that I was going to talk about. And I'm really enjoying this, and I'm thinking like maybe Saturday mornings might become regular. And so if you'd like to see more lives like this in the chat, let me know. Different topics, whatever, just cruise, just basic. You know what I was going to call it? I was going to call it, let's see, Kicking Back with Carol Cruise Travel Chat. Kicking Back with Carol Cruise Travel Chat. So we'll see how this goes. I am enjoying it for sure, but I feel like I'm just doing just a whole lot of talking. But I don't mind. I don't mind. But I feel like I'm doing a whole lot of talking. Um, and but yeah, just let me know, and let's see what else I had, because I had quite a bit that I wanted to kind of go over. So let's see if any of this is relevant here. Okay, so I was going to talk about like how this travel sort of relates to cruising, and travel in general does, because if you have to do any kind of travel, I mean, solo travel, internet, traveling internationally will just, at least being comfortable with it and just getting over like thinking about, oh, how long it's going to be, whatever. What I keep in my mind is, okay, Wanda keeps bringing up compression socks. No, Wanda, I didn't use compression socks. No, but I hear that that's what a lot of people do. I didn't really have any issues with my legs at all, but I didn't have any issue with my legs, but that a lot of people do use them. I think maybe some of the people that I was on the Mediterranean cruise, I think maybe Gwen talked about that she had compression socks on, and then Glenda, which was another lady that they used them. So, but yeah, I hear that is something very, very good to use. I think it keeps the circulation going in your legs or something when you're traveling. So yeah, it's definitely something good to have. So also, how I feel like this relates to cruising is, because we definitely have to travel. So, and a lot of us, we want to take European cruise, you're thinking about taking that European cruise. And I know a lot of people are talking about those Christmas cruises and the Christmas river cruises. And I can't do that until I retire, because my job gets really, really busy around November and December, October, November, December. So, because I'm a tax collector. So I can't really do it during that time, but that is a really, it's a good time of year for people to want to take cruises around that time, Mediterranean cruises. And like Gerald saying, she's going on one. Alaska repositioning cruises. I hadn't really thought too much about that, but that may cause you to do some international travel when ships are going from, one port, and they're going to spend the summertime or the wintertime over in Europe. You may have to take that international flight in order to get back. You may start off in Miami, but end up in Southampton, on a reposition cruise. Of course, you're going to go to, some awesome ports in between and a lot of sea days, but that would cause you to have to do some international travel. So that's one of the reasons why you want to, kind of get yourself comfortable, at least, entertain the idea of getting comfortable with international travel. And really the main thing I would say is download the airline app for sure, and just make sure you have the things with you that's going to make you comfortable, an extra set of clothes, your earbuds, download some, music you like on your phone. The airline, like Eva Airline, they had movies. I watched The Devil Wears Prada 2. I hadn't seen that yet, so I watched that. But they had a lot of good movies, and just find a way to entertain yourself. If you can't sleep, like Gerald said, that she may not be able to sleep. Well, if it's if it's one of the larger airlines, they're going to have movies for you to watch, and music for you to listen to, and also bring some books that you may want to catch up on reading. But do your best to make yourself comfortable. Do yourself to make yourself comfortable. And they are long flights. Sleep as much as you can. I definitely should have slept a little bit more on the flight, but I think that that's important. And also, oh, well, yeah, we already talked about cruises that depart from international ports. So the things that I felt like, or what I would have done differently, the things that I did right is I think I had everything with me that I needed, as far as extra set of clothes. I had all my toiletries. I kept everything with me to make me comfortable. And then all my electronics, my cell phone, my chargers, I had those with me. I had earphones. So, oh, hey, Ari Handy, 3480. Yes, my daughter came in. This is the daughter that I visited in Thailand. Thanks, Ariana, for coming in. Thank you. Yeah, she's the one that I visited. Thank you. Thanks for coming in. So, and then the things that so those are the things that I did right. And then also, okay, another thing that I felt like that I did that I needed to do, and this helped me, was the translation earbuds. Okay, that helped me more navigating myself around in Thailand than the travel part of it, but I did use them on my flight back. So, yes, a lot of people speak English, and it's broken English. And sometimes it was a little bit hard to understand, but a lot of times I felt like people just figured out, they knew I was American. They knew what I wanted to do. They did not like really listen to me exactly what I was trying to ask them. They already figured out, they figured, okay, well, she needs to go to, this part of the airport. But they didn't let me explain what the situation was, especially when I was trying to get to that hotel. So really having some kind of device that you can interpret, and you can, you can communicate in your language, and it communicates back out in their language. Those earbuds were great because I was able to use my phone and just speak what I needed to speak in my phone, and then it would actually speaker out to the person exactly what I was trying to say. I had to have the earbuds in for it to actually work that way. But because there's a whole bunch of different ways you can use those earbuds, but that was the easiest way for me to do it, is to just speak into my phone, and then for it to interpret and be and it spoke in its own voice, to in Thai to the people in the, because it was mostly the airport, sometimes out, when I was doing things on land and things like that. But on my way back, I used them a little bit more than I did when I was in Thailand. But those are great. They work. I'm telling you, they work. And oh, thank you, Ariana, for sending jewels. Yeah, thank you for that. Oh, that was sweet. So yeah, that's one thing that I learned, that and I would definitely use those more. I said my next international trip, I am, I'm definitely going to use those interpretation and get to know a little bit of the language of where you're going. Now, I wish I would have learned, just please and thank you and hello, goodbye. Those, those basic things that you use. You try to use the language of where you're visiting. And there's so many apps out there that you can use. And I noticed that when I used them, my grandson taught them to me, and my daughter. And I had to keep asking my grandson to remind me what they were, but he did it every time. He's great. But I noticed that the demeanor of who I was, dealing with, just people were nice in general, but it just, people love to hear their own language, and they like to hear you at least try, at least try. And I did that several times, and I noticed that they would always just give me that little extra smile. So learning to communicate in that language, that wherever you are, is really important. Also, let's see, yeah, travel time. Be early everywhere. Everywhere you can be early, to whether it's for your flight. When it comes to your flights, be 2 hours, especially an international flight, 2 hours early. Because there were some things that went on when I was on my way back from Thailand that I'm glad I had that extra time, especially when the gentleman decided that he was going to give me that international pass. I had to go to after he gave me my tickets, I had to go to a whole another part of the airport, and it was probably a good 20-25 minute walk. So give yourself extra time, definitely. And keep your phone charged up. And I know we all know about that, because you need your phone, stat all the time. So keep your phone charged up, keep a battery pack with you. And that portable charger, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, keep that with you. Always keep your phone definitely charged up. And of course, don't put everything in your check bag. You need those basic things that you need with you. You always want to keep those with you. And now this is something that I kind of wish I would have did a little bit, is research the Bangkok airport a little bit more, because I had quite a walk. Oh, hey, Nettie's here. Hey, thanks, Nettie, for coming in. Yes, welcome back, Nettie. Yes, and I'm sure you can chime in on a lot of this because you just got back from your international trip. Are you back? Are you back in the States yet? Yay, Nettie's back. Oh my gosh. Yep. So And then, yeah, what I wish I would have did a little bit more is research those the actual airport terminals to see how far I was going to have to walk. Oh, because, and I didn't say this before, but the hotel that I stayed at inside the Bangkok airport was in Terminal A. My flight was in Terminal E. And you know how long it took me to walk there? It took me 30 straight minutes to walk from Terminal A to Terminal E. Now, I had given myself plenty of time. That's the giving yourself plenty of time and knowing, how far you have to go. I didn't know how far I had to go. I just figured, okay, well, let me just start walking now. I've already checked out. I ate my breakfast, they had a nice little spread. And so let me start walking. And then then you look up and you're walking through the airport and you keep seeing 11 minutes. Well, I think it started out with like 20 minutes or something. Started out with 20 minutes. And then it said, okay, you got 11 minutes. And then you got 9 minutes. And, so yes, it was a long stench, but I just wanted to get to the hotel and stay there overnight. I wasn't thinking about how long it was going to be to walk, but give yourself plenty of time. Yeah. Give yourself plenty of time. And don't be afraid to ask for help. When I had to find out where that particular hotel was inside of the Bangkok airport, I had to ask a lot. I had to stop and ask a lot of different people, where is this place? Where can I stay there? All this. Yeah, because I don't know if you were here at the beginning, but it was sort of, it was a tit for tat going back and forth before I actually was able to stay at that hotel. So, and, and it was international travel can be definitely exhausting. So anyway, hey, we've already hit our hour mark here. Thank you guys for coming in. I know I'm just, it's been a long haul, but anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I'm going to end this live. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning. If you enjoyed the conversation, give it a like or a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And if you like this kind of content, I may try to do this maybe one Saturday a month or every Saturday. I'm not really sure. I might be back next week, but yeah, I really enjoyed you guys coming in and chatting with me. And hey, it's been great. It's been great. And I got one more little media asset I want to show you guys before you leave, just to say thank you. Let's see if I can get it. Maybe, where did it go? Oh, wait, okay. Okay, bear with me. All right, well, okay, thank you guys for coming in and joining me in this live stream. I really appreciate everyone that showed up today, and hit the thumbs up on your way out, and I'll see you guys in the chat. Thank you.